What's up, everyone? Just taking over the show for the day because we need to talk about bags. It's the fantasy football bag show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I know that the chat's been really into this, so we figured we'll skip the normal mock draft and I'll talk about bags. So this is the bag that I had through high school. I had this through high school and part of college. It's my Tony Hawk bag. It's still in great shape. It's got a nice spot here for you to put a skateboard, which is really, really nice. But then I moved on to this bag. This has been a dream for me. I have loved it for 15 plus years, maybe closer to 20 years. It's been absolutely amazing for me. It is a Swiss Gear bag. It's a Swiss Gear. I believe it's a Wexler. Yeah, Swiss Gear Wexler bag. It's the Ibex variety. So over the last few weeks or the last week or so, we're part of Bag Watch 2021 here. I have been having trouble deciding what kind of bag I need next. And this is my old bag. And I bought and returned multiple bags. I went to multiple stores. And old bag, new bag. I went with the same exact backpack that I have had for 15 plus years, just because it's just too perfect for me. I love everything about it. I know it travels well. I know it fits under a airplane seat. It's awesome. Anybody needs a link to it, I will put it in the chat later. It's just such an incredible one. But what I want to talk to you mostly about today is I need a duffel bag. Now they do make a duffel bag that pairs up perfectly with this.
What the hell is going on here?
What's going on?
Well, I mean, we started at our normal time, 2:04 p.m., fashionably late, and I get in here and you're just talking bags to everyone in the chat.
Okay. I need to be on the main screen still because this is the duffel bag I use.
Blow them up.
When I travel, right? Like this is a nice 20-inch bag that you can put in an overhead compartment. And then I got this Pepsi bag that I got when I worked for Pepsi. The cool thing about this duffel, it's completely insulated. Every single compartment, completely insulated. So you can put nice cold beverages in it and whatnot. And then I got this big, huge duffel bag. But that's for major travel. That's for you have to check this thing. I don't want that. So what do you guys think? Should I get a new duffel, a 20-inch duffel that matches my backpack that I just repurchased? Or I agree with the chat, by the way. You guys should just let me do the rest of the show. Or do you think one of these duffels is sufficient? Because I'm really thinking I should get a matching duffel.
I think the matching is the way to go. I think walking through, I know you're on team no check bag. So I think walking through the airport terminal with the matching backpack, duffel cross, and then maybe I'm sure Skechers has a similar type of design. Match the shoes.
I was gonna
the shoes and
no one.
If I could match the shoes. I didn't even
hat too.
I didn't even think about wardrobe. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so
all coming together.
When we travel, we're not supposed to just have the same matching luggage. We need matching travel clothes now. Exactly. I like this because back in the day, you used to wear suits on planes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody got super casual. I'm just going to wear sweatpants or whatever. And yeah, exactly. So the next step in the evolution of what you wear on planes is matching your luggage. Oh, this is wonderful. I love this, JL. I love that idea.
We're on to something.
That's the move. You know what? We should design full, you can buy it as a set, not just a luggage set, but it comes with your travel outfit as well. Sell it all in one package. You get the duffel, the book bag, the suitcase, and the full travel outfit. Maybe 2 outfits.
But I feel
love it.
You definitely have Margiela probably does this. The high end, the people who are super into fashion already have been doing this for years. I feel like
he's absolutely correct.
They probably have.
Someone definitely has matching Gucci shoes with their Gucci luggage.
That's true
for sure. Katie's in here says, I didn't know I signed into the home e-shopping channel. This is Bag Watch 2021, and it is very, very important. And you're right, Scott. The people in here are loving it.
My mom's finally, I understand what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, now we're on Duffel Watch 2021 because I don't know if I want to get another duffel that I'll have to check. I'm looking at these 20 inchers, but they're just not
Gotta
big.
get the 20s. Gotta get
Yeah,
there before.
yeah. The 20s can go on the airplanes. That's what you need.
Dr.
I believe
Chalupa,
him.
when you're saying he matches his Louis Vuitton luggage with a hat and sneakers.
Ooh.
Yeah,
He
I
absolutely
believe it.
does. He definitely
I
does
should
it.
get like a fedora that works with my
That is
A Skechers
honestly
branded fedora.
the fact that Ketchup walks around with matching Louis Vuitton luggage and hat sneakers is like the absolute funniest image in my mind.
Where do you guys stand on insulated compartments on your duffels and on your backpacks? You
I'm
pro?
don't need
Are
it.
you against? You don't care?
I don't need it.
I
I
don't
need it.
care.
How
Yeah,
about
I
how
guess
about
it is.
how about
Maybe it's
shoe
better on a backpack.
compartments?
Now that's something we could talk about. I'm
Shoe
typically
compartments
putting
on a
my
duffel?
shoes somewhere, and I'm having
You gotta
trouble
put them in
kind
the
of
bottom.
figuring out where
You
to
don't
put
want to
them.
dirty up your clothes. You got to put them on the bottom.
Yeah, but you're
Right.
just putting them in with your clothes, like
Yeah.
There's going to be
I don't know.
cross contamination. There's going to be cross.
One of the
Yeah,
backpacks
exactly.
I bought and returned had a shoe compartment, like it slid into the side of the backpack. There, you see them on
Baseball-
duffels all the time.
Yeah,
this is on a
true.
sports
backpack.
backpacks have them. You have like cleat compartments, right? Like
I-
baseball backpacks have that.
I almost bought a baseball bag with my last bag just because of all the special compartments. I was like, that could
Yes.
be used for so many things. But then I was like, these bags are just preposterous. I'd be walking through the airport like with this baseball bag with
He
things
just
just
reaches
sticking
back,
out.
grabs
might
like a
be too
handful of
big.
Skittles
might
out of
think you're an
his
athlete.
baseball bat pocket.
No one thinks this 5'10" chubby ass is an athlete walking through the airport. They'd be like, why is that dad
Baseball
not
power
carrying a
lifter,
baseball
power
bat?
Tell me you're a curler. I'm in curling. That's what
I have body
man.
for curling.
Oh man.
Bag watch.
Guys, Scott,
2021.
you'll have to keep us updated on Duffel Watch now that Bag Watch.
I will.
this is important.
I know.
We've had some
Fantasy
people-
football duffel show coming next week, apparently.
Yes, weekly thing.
Jay said you
The
need to
real
get the
deal.
bag embroidered, Scott. So you need to get that embroidered. Guys, we brought someone else on the show with us today to mock draft with us as well. Though. Want to make sure
The way
we
you
get
said
to our
that.
guest. We are mock drafting
Nice,
today,
Scott.
not just talking about bags. Scott, you're not leaving. You don't get out of it that easily. Joshua Cho, aka at JB Cho Knows on Twitter. He's a
Yes.
redraft and dynasty expert with 20 plus years of experience. And we are hyped to have him here today for Bag Watch
Yes.
2021 and this Superflex PPR redraft mock draft. What's up, Josh?
So glad to have you, Josh.
Hey, thank you for having me on. I was shocked to see Scott Fish, turn all his bags off. I got to get me one too. So glad to be here, man. And just
took over. He
have
just took
some fun.
over.
Yeah.
I will say
Scott,
someone was quite upset that we spent 10 minutes talking about bags at the last mock draft Monday. So I'm gonna have to put in a special note in the description for that guy.
Nice.
We did it again. We did not.
Gotcha.
We do
I
not learn
gotcha.
from our mistakes.
It was
This
only
is-
8 minutes and 50 seconds this time.
I've decided this is my new thing. Like I went around crashing shows. Now I'm going to go around crash hosting shows.
Yeah, taking over shows.
I love it.
Whew, we got some people in the chat that were all engaging with Bag Watch right now. Jaywall came in and said first like, and Maria said sorry. She was first. With Scott on the show hosting, it opened up the lane for someone else to come in there. Craig said, enough of the dad jokes today. We are going to be singing. He said, it's just another mock draft Monday.
Whoa.
Better than
Sunday.
How do you guys all know the
'Cause This
tune?
is our fun day.
a fun day. Whoa, I don't really get the
Whoa.
was.
Monday.
Whoa.
That was great.
J-Wall's
That was great,
in here
Greg.
says, J-Wall didn't make it into the mock. Now I can't roast his team, but Burner's saying I'll have to roast his instead. Yeah,
What-
Burner, if you could draft a shitty team, that would make my job a lot easier for the mock draft review. I'd
Yeah, you
love
just
to just tear into your team.
you were gonna be last place anyway, J Wall. So you just expedited the process. It's fine.
We got Herms in here.
got
He
him.
says, lit my
Hey,
dudes. What's up? Welcome, Herms. And Scott, you got a yo, what up? Wow from Herms. I'm guessing it was that bag. Just too impressed with the bag.
People
and
love
then-
bag talk, man.
Yeah, the evolution.
Can't
that
get
really
enough of
sold
it.
I love
Oh,
that
man,
you said you could put a skateboard in here. That was
You
that was my
can.
favorite part. That was my favorite part.
Dude,
And
I
that's
didn't know-
Specifically
Not
designed
really
for it.
good.
Like it's got like a
That's a badass bag. We got to be honest.
It
That
is.
Tony Hawk
it's got
bag.
like a
it really
Velcro
is.
thing here to get your skateboard in there.
Man,
yellow.
I used to play so much Tony Hawk on PlayStation.
Same.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Nintendo 64 for me. I played so
Oh
many.
snap! Yeah.
I
But
played
yeah, I
on
love
Nintendo
it.
64 and then moved on to PS2. And I've been
I-
playing a lot on Switch recently. Way too much on Switch.
Agreed. I used to play Tony Hawk with this bag on for good luck because I would play better.
I believe you. I believe you.
Yo,
just like you have a specific batting glove when you're playing baseball and you're younger, you're like, I'm better with this batting glove on.
It's
like,
true though. It's
that's
true.
what it is, man.
He went and bought a whole new skateboard, and they're like, "Oh, you skate?" He's like, "No, I can't do that. I just wear it."
No, I don't
Like,
skate.
good luck.
But I look fresh.
Yeah, Tony Hawk.
I could see Scott skating.
Scott's skating.
Yeah,
It's a long-
when
long
I
way
was that
down.
age, it wouldn't have been fresh. It would have been like radical or something. I'm not young.
Did you have like a chain wallet?
I don't think I did.
Janko jeans.
Yeah, I imagine you sitting there in your Jinkos with your backpack on playing Tony Hawk.
What's sad is I was never cool enough to pull off that stuff, and I'm kind of glad because now there are no pictures in existence of me in any of that stuff.
I like envied my friends with the Jankos, man. I couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, no, me either. Me either.
Let's bring them back. Jordan says, I look like a guy who uses a trash bag for traveling. I know that I do use trash bags for packing, unashamedly so. I wait until the last possible minute, shove everything I own into garbage bags, then throw that in a moving truck and call it a day. And that is how I pack. So
He's
you're
not
not
lying.
flying.
But at least they're the scented ones, right? Scented trash
Yes,
bags.
yes, the scented trash
Absolutely.
bag.
Whenever I go on vacation, I take a trash bag with me just so I can put all the dirty clothes
Yes.
into the trash
Oh,
bag.
That's
So-
the move, Josh. I do
Yeah.
the same
I've
thing.
never
True.
done that. That's such a waste. Think of the environment, Josh. God.
I'm
You can
sorry.
use
Yeah,
the
dude,
trash
I'm a horrible
bag when you
person.
get home. Maria
You
says
can.
singing
Dude,
is
it
not
had clothes in it.
FYF's talent. And Jay Wall said, I guess I'm no longer welcome on this show. You're welcome, Jay
Oh,
Wall.
shut up, Jay.
We
You
love you,
are
Jay.
welcome.
We love you, Jay Wall.
It feels like we're already 13
I
minutes
just
into the
started-
show.
Yeah, and Bargain Man says time to start the draft. You are 100% right, Bargain Man.
Patiently
There will be
waiting.
time for some more bag talk during the stream. We will have that coming your way in between some picks. But guys, we are doing a PPR Superflex redraft mock. Josh is drafting from the 3 spot. Jeff is drafting from the 3 spot. Josh
me.
is drafting from the 6 spot, and JL is drafting from the 7 spot. We gave the name Jeff to our guest today. He gets the name.
You
or
know,
the name
you gave
Josh.
me the name.
And he gets the name Josh. He gets priority. And FYF, Josh is taking on his moniker Jeff for today's stream. I'm going to go ahead and start the
I
draft.
appreciate
Craig
that.
has
I've been excited for this draft, Josh, because I really want to take down the other Josh, and my team is going to be a lot better than yours. You watch, Josh.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
coming
see
in
what
for you.
happens, Jeff. We'll see.
Oh, I heard there was some anger in that, Jeff.
Jeff.
I wish I would have done it, but I almost chose the spot right next to you. But I don't usually draft at the front of the draft, so I'm excited to see how my team turns out. You know, I usually choose a middle to late round pick, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
smack
We
dab
got
in the
Rick
middle,
Perry's-
so I'm kind of excited to see what happens.
Rick Perry's.
Yeah, I haven't done
zucchini
much
wine.
drafts from the middle. Pretty much the beginning. Rick Perry Zucchini says you guys are always fun to watch. That's a name.
Love me some
That's a
zucchini.
name.
I hope that's your Gmail name too. Like Rick Perry's zucchini@gmail.com.
Methodical in here says I'm disappointed I can't snipe Josh all draft again. Yeah,
He
that
sniped
was
me
pretty fun.
like 5 times last week. What the heck? Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy we're very separated, Matt.
Then he hit you with the nifty 91 shout out. So
I'm a very nifty guy. Yeah,
Like
check
Sour-
out Matt.
Sour
Follow him on
Patch
Twitter.
Kid.
He's awesome.
Man,
Josh,
I
you
was
are
hoping
on the
Tyler
clock.
would fall, but I'll go with my man.
I love
Lamar
Josh.
Jackson. I know.
Beautiful.
I mean, you weren't going to get him, Josh, sitting there at the 3 unless you took
Oh,
him at
no.
the 3.
No.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about Lamar Jackson this season, Josh? Do you
You
put him in
know-
that upper echelon? I know some people have him in that tier 2 now.
I just, he still has like the best floor with his rushing. Add in the new weapons. I'm higher on most than Sammy Watkins. I've been tweeting out that he's Baltimore's wide receiver 1, and everyone says, yeah, for 1 week and, stuff like that. But, they got Bateman, they put in Wallace, and I really feel like they're going to let Lamar just do his thing with the design runs and his scrambling, but I feel like they're going to let him throw it a little bit more this year. So, with a high floor, and really, I feel like his ceiling has been raised. So he could push for the number 1 QB spot, if everything goes well, I think. So I'm high on Lamar this season.
I
I feel the
completely
same
agree.
way. Josh and I went to the Ravens practice on Saturday, and that was
awesome.
It just got me so hyped. Lamar wasn't there, but just the
hyped.
offense looks so good. I'm super excited they have Bateman in there. I'm
Yeah.
really hyped on him this year. I think they're gonna have a great season.
Do you guys like Bateman like still as much as if he went to a really pass heavy offense? Like, because he was my wide receiver too coming into the season, like from the rookies. But when he landed in Baltimore, I was a little bit disappointed, man. Not
I
gonna
think
lie.
everyone was very disappointed. But I think if we look at Dynasty ADP, Bateman's still getting drafted very high.
Yeah,
very high.
Talent.
Now, redraft is a completely different story. He's kind of getting buried a little bit, and that makes sense. It's year one, but Dynasty people are not sleeping on Bateman, and I don't think you should, because I think he's going to be the wide receiver 1 on this team before long.
Yeah.
I think it was hard not to be disappointed. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John Luke.
No, you keep going.
If he had been in a higher pass volume team, obviously that's just
it'd be more exciting.
It'd be more exciting for him. That doesn't eliminate his talent that we saw. I just don't know how much room there is for a wide receiver 1 on that team. I need to see it first. I need to see them support a wide receiver 1 with Lamar at quarterback. I think they can do it. I need to see it before I start putting them up there in that echelon of receivers in good landing spots.
Yeah. It was just so funny because Tylan Wallace was another guy I was excited about.
Yeah,
they both landed in Baltimore.
Scott, was that the pocket that everyone was wondering about?
Oh, well, you guys were talking. I was showing off backpacks in the different compartments.
And our views went up by like 20,
For those people who tuned in for the bag talk, I was just trying to help out.
I think every stream should just have like a picture-in-picture of just Scott Fish doing something completely unrelated to whatever we're doing.
I like
He's
this
doing like
idea.
housework in the back.
Jail, you are on the clock, just so you know. You got 15 seconds.
Oh God, I did not know.
You want me to pause and restart it?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I just did.
There's someone he likes.
Okay.
Got a
Reset your timer.
Fruit fly flying around in here.
So distracted by Scott's bag hole.
Sean's in here saying Baltimore has never drafted a wide receiver worth a damn. The wide receiver 1 in Baltimore is 700 yards. I do believe
he's not lying.
Yeah, no, that's what we've seen. But I do believe with the moves they made and what the coaches have said that they want to throw the ball more this season.
And the big thing is, it's hard for the wide receivers, but for Lamar, the more weapons, the better. It affects him only positively.
100%. Bob Gilchrist in here saying Scott was trying to show off his awards. This is Bag Watch. The award watch is coming later. Matthew Berry Game Changer Award winner, Humanitarian of the Year, Scott Fish isn't on this stream.
I do have them. I can show you how they fit in certain bags in certain compartments.
There is no way that Matthew Berry fits in that little pocket in your backpack. I do not believe you.
Oh man.
The camera makes him look a lot taller. Burnham says, if my draft sucks, it's because I've got bags on the brain. That's a reasonable excuse. We all got bags on the brain right now.
Sometimes you get bag brain.
And Josh is on the clock while he's making the pick, though. Or I guess he just made it. John Luke, I'm going to come to you. Ezekiel Elliott. We just saw a report, I think it was late last week, that Tony Pollard will have a role even without Ezekiel Elliott injured. This came from the Cowboys themselves saying that Tony Pollard, there's no reason for Ezekiel Elliott to be touching the ball that much a game. Tony Pollard will have a role. Does that worry you for Zeke at all this year?
No. What time is it? What time of the year are we in?
It's 3:20.
Just wanted to check how you felt about it since you just drafted him.
No, I mean, why would they pay him that much money? A running back who is not, going to be very valuable according to NFL standards. Why would they pay him that money and not use him? It really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think people that have been paying attention to the Cowboys situation, that wasn't news to them. Know what I mean? Like for me, it didn't change how I viewed Ezekiel Elliott at all because I already assumed Tony Pollard would get 5 carries a game. That's just how I saw it playing out. What about you guys? Josh, what do you think?
Dude, I'm big. Yeah. Oh,
you're
Jeff or
Jeff?
Josh?
I'm Jeff.
We had one rule, Jeff.
I wasn't ready to answer this anyway, so go ahead, Josh.
I've been high on Zeke. I've been pretty high on Zeke. And this season, actually, I have him at my RB4. And I know some people, I don't know if they're trolling or not, saying like Tony Pollard is the RB1, the better running back and things like that. But when you fade all that kind of noise, Ezekiel Elliott with Dak, I mean, there's just no way he doesn't eat. There's no way he doesn't produce. So
and Sean agrees with you. So Zeke eating always.
I mean, that's for John Luke. I mean, Kamara and Elliott. It's a pretty strong start when you're looking at the running backs. But we'll see what QBs he has.
was going to
Would
say, when
you
you're
have
looking at
considered-
quarterbacks, I'm sorry, go
Like
ahead.
at all at your pick, Josh? I'm just wondering.
Was I looking
know-
at any running backs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
so
what's your pick?
usually, I mean, without giving too much away, generally speaking, I like to have two like quarterbacks, hopefully one elite and one top tier, and then I start looking at running backs and see who kind of hangs around.
Mhm.
I feel like I did a little research, like looking back at some of your past mocks, though, and it
Oh, he
seems
came
like
prepared.
there's a lot less of a QB emphasis a lot of times, I think, when you guys are drafting your Superflex drafts,
Especially for
compared to like
redraft.
some leagues. Yeah,
Especially
in
for
redraft, though,
redraft.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really
When it comes to
interesting.
Dynasty, I think we go a little bit more quarterback heavy. I think I found.
Yeah.
For sure. I completely agree with that. It looks like Scott has something to show us. I just saw this
Oh my
lingering in
God.
the shared screen. So Scott, give us a
Matching
breakdown
one.
of the pros and cons of this matching duffel bag.
What are the stats?
Mostly,
nice.
it's look how it matches so nicely.
It's the
It's
same bag.
I
just
knew at
duffel-wise.
least like 6 kids who had that exact same backpack in high school.
yeah. This backpack.
Yeah, backpack. Yeah,
Oh,
that style.
It's amazing. It's amazing. This one. It's an expensive backpack. It's like $100 backpack. So
Wow.
it's-
Man.
you
The
you
backpack
hung out
is-
some rich kids.
I had the low end blue JanSport with like the little fake suede bottom. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Old
Yeah,
JanSport
Yeah, the
backpack.
classic
Yeah,
JanSport with
I
the
had
suede
that
on the
forever.
bottom.
Oh, I had
That's
It
awesome.
was like brown fake leather bottom JanSport.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had
I don't know if
I
I
had
just
a
Ray Bans.
carried
Never
too
go
much.
out of style.
I had a brown paper grocery bag
Nice.
for me. I know you laugh, but for a while I did not have a backpack.
Just carried
early
everything.
junior high.
In the
Yeah,
6
yeah.
feet of Minnesota snow.
Man, I hope I don't get sniped here. Oh, nice.
Oh,
J.K. Dobbins was selected. When I was
Joe
good.
Mixon.
Baby.
Yes.
Wow, this is like everything's going perfectly according to plan right now. I got my 2 QBs and I got my RB1. Not the RB1. He's an RB1.
But he's definitely your RB1 for your team.
Yeah, for sure.
So
He's the
Joe
RB1
Mixon.
on the Bengals. You can give him that at least.
No doubt about that.
He's gonna get
Josh.
volume this year. Just got to stay healthy.
Yep.
So do you have Joe Mixon as an RB1 going into the season as a top 12 running back?
I'm really bullish on him, so I'm gonna probably drop my just top 12 like positional rankings for PPR redraft this week. I have him at 6.
Wow.
I know.
That's Oh no, I'm not saying that in
I
a
did-
negative
I
way.
did
You've got some
preliminary
Joe Mixon
rankings
lovers on
before.
this stream.
Yeah, so I mean, I know there's Mixon truthers, but even for them, they feel like 6 is a little high. But I just can't get away with away from his. He has the talent. He knows how to create yards on his own. He's shown that before.
He
If
can
stay
catch.
healthy, and with the volume that he has, and with Gio gone, I think that he does take a step forward in terms of targets and catching the ball. So, man, I really think that Mixon can have a big year, whether it's negative or positive game script.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to be the guy this year.
Because of the pass catching upside that he has
Yeah.
without Gio, especially if
Yeah.
he's healthy, he is going to be a running back 1. There is really no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
And this should be a better Bengals offense, like significantly better. I'm not fully convinced it's going to be as negative of game scripts as we saw all of last season as well, either.
Oh, what's the reason?
I
for
think
that?
this will be
Why-
a better team.
I haven't heard that too much. What is the reasoning behind people believing there's going to be too many negative game scripts?
Their defense
Well, I
sucks.
just think, and they were bad last year. And last year their offense also sucked, right? It was just,
Well, after
yeah.
Burrow went
Improvements over
down,
the
I mean, it's
Especially without Joe Burrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once Joe
Well,
Burrow
yeah,
went down.
That's expected.
Man, I'm
Anthony's in the
liking-
chat. He said, "Hey guys, work is going insane, but I'll try to be around. I know y'all
Man.
miss me."
Go back and
absolutely
watch the
miss you.
first 10 minutes. That's all you really need to watch.
the first 8 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yes.
And
You
Vernon
definitely
says,
missed a good time.
I'm trying a new strategy. So Simon, you may get your garbage team to tear apart.
I love it.
I
love it.
am
He was saying
So
how
you can
mean
put it
he's
in your
gonna be.
garbage bag, afterwards.
You better be ready, Burner.
Yeah, Burner, before the stream, I did say, what if instead of like being nice, I just did the mock draft review as a full-on roast this week? Just absolutely brutal. So
Don't
maybe we'll
steal my
test it on
side,
you right
Burner.
before you come on the
Gordon.
stream.
Speaking of, he just released that mock draft analyst right before the stream here, about 45 minutes. Analysts. Analysis.
Yeah, just
Analysis.
with plenty of time to spare before we did the next one.
Exactly. Plenty of time. Check it out. It's a good one.
Justin
right,
Jefferson
don't
in
do
the
it, Jordan.
4th round
Don't
to
do it,
Burner of
Jordan.
Stone.
Don't do it, Jordan.
Don't do it, Jordan.
Oh, wait. I want to guess who you won
I'll
almost.
pinch
But
your
actually, I don't
cheeks.
want to call
Do
it
it.
out. I think I know. I think I could take a guess.
You can take a guess.
But I don't want to do it.
Jail, I don't think you've sniped Josh yet, but you got to get at least one in before the stream's over. We can't just
Yeah,
invite
that's
him on
true.
and have this draft go perfect for him.
Well, I have only had one pick where I had an opportunity to start. So.
You're right. And you're flying 0 for 1 so far.
I'm 0%. It's not looking good for me. Man, take all year, Jordan.
Craig said Simon forgot to cover my daughter's draft on the review from last week. She's been telling me to unsubscribe. I'm so sorry.
That's so
Is she,
funny.
Craig, honestly, if
No,
I would have
Jordan,
reviewed it, she would have
no!
had you unsubscribe.
You got it? That was
anyway.
yours? That was it? That's what you wanted?
Oh, I said don't
Are you
do
gonna
it.
Pivot? You got to take a QB in the 4th round.
I
right?
don't
mean,
have to do anything, Josh.
That's true.
Also, everybody
Perfect.
in
have to
this
do
draft,
anything.
make sure you also DM me a picture of your book bag. We're gonna have Scott on the mock draft review to do a book bag review as well. So while I'm roasting your team, Scott will roast your bags. We're gonna speak at the same time, the entire time. So while I'm going over your team, Scott will roast your bag at the same time, and you can try to decipher what we're saying.
Simultaneous audio. That's
Simultaneous
fun.
audio. That's the plan, right, Scott?
I actually think we'll just take their bags, the picture of their bags, and we'll do a bracket battle or tiers later in the week.
That's so good.
Ooh, okay, Lawrence.
That would be funny. Burner's
Ooh,
bag
Trevor.
versus Craig's bag
Versus Jordan's trash bag.
versus Jordan's trash bag.
Trash bag.
Everyone gets to pick their favorite bag. Dan's coming in with a fanny pack. Scott, you got your new same Swiss book bag.
Everyone
be
has
a-
their little intro video of them like
This is
holding
my
their
bag, guys.
Oh, that's a nice bag.
Josh, what's your go-to?
Yeah. Right here.
Dear Lord,
No, you're Jeff.
either,
Oh.
either that bag is
Hold on. I'm
tiny
on the
or
clock.
you
I'm
are
trying to think if I
huge.
should make this move.
I am a
right here.
giant
Oh.
individual.
All right, I think I gotta-
Apparently, this is a very popular brand of backpack. Herschel.
Never heard of it.
Never.
Made
Scott,
by
have you heard of
Walker?
this?
Okay.
Herschel.
Mm-mm.
Apparently, these
That-
are like hipster backpacks.
That looks like fashion over function to me, is what that looks like.
It's a backpack. It holds things.
It's a backpack.
The
That's for sure.
closest bag that I have to me right now is this Amazon Basics laptop carrying bag.
Amazon Basics.
Look at
I almost want to go grab my duffel bag, my
Nice.
little
You
carry
see the
carry
group
around
right
bag.
here?
I love
That's
everything about this
character.
show.
That's character right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what a bag needs. Otherwise, have you even used it if you haven't put a little tear in it?
Yeah, and you can like slip things in there, like just if you don't want to unzip it, you just put it right through that hole.
100% of the time, if you open,
I've
up my
said that
backpack,
before.
you will find a book that I do not
Oh,
read.
whoa.
Calm down.
But I carry
Come on,
around
man.
everywhere.
This is an afternoon show.
Here's
My duffel bag is right here. It's an Under Armour duffel bag, and I haven't been bringing it up on the show because I didn't want to make you guys feel bad. But
Feel bad.
But it is huge.
Feeling very
It is-
baggy
It is
right
a
now.
massive duffel.
Would you have to check it?
I also have a
No,
duffel
it
bag.
fits. It fits in the. You got to stuff it a little bit, but it fits. I'm gonna show it to you in Canton.
All
You
right,
This,
might have seen it in Dallas, but you probably won't see it in my bag.
This bag is made specifically for airline travel. It has a handle on the side. You can do it. 36 liters. That's
Wait,
the size.
How does
Wow.
the side make it specifically for airline travel?
Well, it's like
Side hook.
big. It's big and cavernous. It opens flat, so it has a flat
Of course,
back.
of course.
And then there's also this where you can just carry it around like this, not directly on your bag.
That's
And then the shape of it is made to fit under an airline seat. Like it's fairly boxy, so that whenever you
Nice.
zip it up and it's full, it fits on there. Rick Perry Zucchini says the only bags I got are the ones under my eyes.
I was
you
thinking
know
that
what?
this morning, honestly.
I was just thinking to myself, Josh is already doing the fashion thing. Like he's got an Under Armour backpack and duffel. They have Under Armour hats. They have Under Armour
Yeah,
shirts. Like
yeah,
he can already
yeah.
do this. Like he
I've
doesn't have
got
to buy
everything
extra
I need.
stuff.
Everything I need to match my duffel bag, my backpack, my socks, my shoes, my shirt. I've got Under Armour everything already. Let's go. I didn't even think about that. Thank you, Scott. I'm gonna do
Yes.
this.
This is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
ride
amazing.
into the expo, just Under Armour the F up.
Guys, I've already had multiple people send me DMs with pictures of their book bags.
This is amazing.
Does
Matthew
Twitter,
McCarthy's-
like tell you, like warn you first, like, hey, this photo may contain sensitive images?
Hey, it's the new thing in the DMs. It's bag pics.
What a saucy,
Bag-
seductive
bag-
backpack this
Bag
is.
pics are much better than the
pics.
other thing.
It's just someone
Matt
like holding
McCarthy-
open a pocket.
That's a nice looking book bag that you sent over to me. Looks pretty solid. And he
I
sent
could
me
see.
one blurry picture and one not blurry picture. That way I could see what it looked like blurry and not
Can we
blurry.
make like a really bad like a I don't know Windows Movie Maker slideshow of just like bags
the
with
bags
the
of
audience
fantasy Twitter?
that just plays while we're coming up with quiplash prompts or something. It's just
He
like
just plays
like
great
a
shows.
Sarah
It's like Jordan
McLachlan.
Vanek and then has his
Yes.
book bag, and then
Yeah.
John Luke Garofalo with your book bag. That would be 100%. I'll put that together. Scott, I imagine
That could
him
be
like
our thing.
sitting there like this with his book bag on, like just smiling, like I did it. It's over. That would
Someone
be really
suggested
funny.
we do a calendar yesterday on Twitter, a holiday calendar, and now I'm thinking maybe we should have a backpack like us wearing backpacks for the calendar
And only backpacks.
and only backpacks.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh
Oh
man.
boy.
Anthony has a new
I-
business idea: Under Armour condoms, and Matt is in here saying, "Yep,
That's not new.
backpack is
If you-
legit."
If you've ever
I've got
owned
'em.
Under Armour shoes, then I would not recommend Under Armour condoms. They do not hold up.
So when you
Um,
when you do these mocks here, and I know it's weird for me to move away from bag talk.
Do we normally
But-
talk about fantasy?
Yeah. So when you're doing a mock like this, and you see in the fourth round here that Burner of Stone already won the mock, like, do
Oh,
you feel like doing
He
the
already
rest
won
of-
it.
It's
Yeah, he's
tough.
got Justin Jefferson, so he's already won the mock.
Oh, yeah. I see. I
Um,
see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I gave up right when I saw that pick come in. That's why I went with CD Lamb in the fifth. I was like, whatever, you know.
I was gonna say, if anyone won the draft, it's Josh getting the 2020 receiver that's gonna finish the highest, almost a round later than Justin Jefferson.
Wide receiver.
Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. No. Yeah,
I'm just trying to
get CD Lamb there.
antagonize Scott, but he didn't take the bait. He didn't take the bait at
No.
all.
I think people try stuff like that, and I'm such a like everybody gets to have their own opinions and preferences guy that like that stuff doesn't affect me, but then I like to dish out the jokes on the other side, you know. So like I can dish out a joke like you won, you have Jefferson, but if someone comes back with something else, I'm like, that's cool. You know, like
You also won. Good job.
We all win.
it probably
Scott,
sucks
the best
that I
part
don't get
about that is like if you made anybody mad with that take, like if someone actually got mad from the Justin Jefferson take and tried to come back at you, they would get even more pissed due to your lack of reaction. Like
right?
you immediately would make them angrier.
Like that's cool.
No. No.
No,
Josh,
man.
I wanted to come to you. You just took Daryl Henderson in the fifth round.
Yeah.
So Cam Akers obviously out for the season. Taking him in the fifth round, or there's your third running
He
back.
is
signals
what
to me
happened.
That you
Oh my god.
he's on a cross country trip searching for the perfect backpack. So he had to take this season off.
Yeah.
Cam Akers is traveling the world in search of the perfect bag.
Sounds like very
I-
inconvenient.
I-
to not
but
have a backpack before
Josh,
that trip.
Daryl Henderson,
Yeah.
you taking him in the fifth round signals to me that you believe he can be a top level running back, that he'll fill in that Cam Akers role pretty heavily. Can you talk a little bit about what you think about Daryl Henderson heading into this season?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a little bit of time, and I know there's some talk, will they bring a veteran in and things like that. But I've been really high on Henderson. I think with Cam Akers, even when he was healthy and they were getting ready to go into the season, I really felt like when you compare the numbers between Henderson and Akers, they're not too far apart. And when he was starting in place, of the being the lead role last season, he had some pretty highly graded games as a running back. I know there's a lot of people who, doubt Henderson, but unless they bring a veteran in, and even if they do, I think that Henderson's going to have that lead role. He's a pretty good pass catcher out of the backfield. That offense should be humming, with Stafford and, the receivers going. So I really believe in Henderson. And, I actually took him in a 1 QB league in the fourth, recently, middle of the fourth.
Wow.
So I'm kind of all in on him, probably more so than other people. If you go back on my tweets, I've mentioned him in conjunction with Cam Akers, and people being too high on Cam Akers in terms of ADP. I mean, it was
Even before the
ridiculous at
injury.
one point where overall ADP Henderson was going like 150, while Akers was like 15, and I'm like, that should be a lot closer together. And so, but now obviously with Akers, I do hope he comes back, but I think that this is Henderson's time to show. Like he was pretty good draft capital too for the Rams. So I think that he has what it takes, and he's shown it already. If he holds up, stays healthy, I think he's going to have a tremendous season.
I think you took him at the right spot. This is exactly where I would consider him. It's after, those like running backs, we absolutely know that they're going to get the carries and the work for the team. And then there's Henderson just staring at you in the face. I would take him ahead of Myles Gaskin at this point, actually, myself.
I would take him ahead of Josh Jacobs and ETN too. Honestly.
Josh Jacobs is where I draw the line, Josh. All right. He's a fellow Josh. How dare you?
Our namesake.
Yes.
Also,
no, but Matt, I would take him out of V10 as well myself.
Matt just said it, and Matt, I'm disappointed that you got to comment before I said it out loud, because the next thing I was going to say is your team gets me hot and bothered so far. This is exactly how I like to draft. If it falls to me, this is my preferred method. We'll see how your running back shapes up, but I'm excited about your team so far. John Luke, you seem to enjoy the balanced approach to drafting whenever you draft. I think you probably prefer it because it leaves your options open. But the question I had for you, you drafted Jamar Chase here in the 5th round or the 6th round, but ahead of guys like Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Robert Woods, like these established wide receivers who have all finished in the wide receiver 2-1 range the past couple of years, at least one of the past couple of years. What gives you the confidence that Jamar Chase is going to, in Dynasty, 100%, I understand him going ahead of these guys, but in redraft, what makes you draft him ahead of the guys like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Amari Cooper?
Yeah, I mean, in redraft, I know it's I guess it's counterintuitive to sometimes go a heavy rookie, but every single season, there's uncertainty around rookies, and you see a certain percentage of the rookies whose ADP is going to shoot up, right? They're going to become way more valuable because they're going to outperform, because what does everyone say whenever you talk about a rookie? Well, we haven't seen it yet. Mm-hmm. And that's it's accurate, but it's also, that doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, right? Like, because we haven't seen it yet, that also makes them possibly better values. I've talked about ETN in a similar way. And so I don't know if I would make this move in a real draft. I'm playing around with it, and honestly, I was getting
time. Craig! I'm sorry.
But I love the upside on Chase. And for when I was considering between him and Evans, and I'm just sitting there thinking, in terms of just like explosive upside, like Jamar Chase could, absolutely be top 5. I don't know that I can't really see Evans being a top 5 wide receiver in that offense.
Yeah, if there's a rookie to go in on, it's definitely Jamar. I mean, he's got the profile, everything, the success in college and good program. So yeah, I don't hate the pick.
You might whiff, right? Like I might whiff here. Jamar Chase might be like most rookie wide receivers and not have a Justin Jefferson, instant Hall of Famer Justin Jefferson's like rookie season.
Yeah. I completely understand that, drafting for upside. With rookies, you hit the nail on the head. There's the chance you get burned, but there's also a chance that you get some value. We see it on the extremes. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year got pushed up to what his ceiling was as a rookie when he was being drafted at his absolute ceiling. But you see receivers a lot, like T. Higgins getting drafted much later than they probably should be, just because of that little bit of uncertainty, even though they've got the talent.
Man, I wanted OBJ. I've been clamoring for people to recognize his game. Don't forget who he is.
I'm sitting over here debating OBJ or Chase Claypool, but I've dug into Chase Claypool, and I think he has a lot of potential.
I was so close. It would have been like the perfect draft so far.
But now what are you gonna do?
Oh.
Probably have to make a move that some people may not like.
That's what I like to hear, actually.
Adam Humphries.
Hunter Renfrow.
Right,
let's name all the white Clemson wide receivers.
Ew, not joking. That's fine. That's fine value for Galladay.
I was just looking them up because I was like, man, Galladay seems like a great value here.
Yeah,
so that was
he's definitely great value. I think him with Daniel Jones together. It's kind of oddly enough, two people are kind of down on for whatever reasons. A lot of people questioning if Galladay can be a true wide receiver 1. But man, on the deep balls, I mean, Daniel Jones actually he's pretty darn good, and Galladay is one of those guys that can give a young quarterback or just a quarterback who likes to sling it a real chance that he's going to come up with the ball in a one-on-one situation deep. So I think that they're going to make a lot of noise. I know that out of training camp, people are saying the whole offense is pretty underwhelming, as kind of expected, I guess, for the Giants. But I feel like there's definitely going to be some big games between those two, from Daniel Jones to Galladay. So having him as my wide receiver too, to go along with the QBs and running backs that I've been able to draft, I'm perfectly good there. So
yeah, for not drafting the wide receiver until the 6th round and having Woods and Galladay as your 1 and 2's a pretty solid start.
I'll take that.
Woods, I find myself drafting Woods in like every single draft I'm in now because the value just seems insane where you're able to get him. Yeah. I feel fairly confident that he's in that wide receiver 1 territory, but he's getting drafted later than that. Jordan says he's super proud of us for not drafting Kyle Pitts early. He went in the 6th round at the end of the 6th round as the 6th tight end off the board after Mark Andrews.
You're welcome, people. I ended it. I never end up with Kyle Pitts on any of my teams. I was actually super surprised that he was still there. I was like, I'll shoot for the upside at this point. I'll shoot for it. Let's go.
Jay wants to know, can we get back to bag talk, please? Scott, so I see you working furiously over there. I can only assume that you're looking at other duffel bag options.
No. I was actually looking up pictures of the players you were drafting and what backpacks they have. It looks like Jamar Chase has a Nike backpack with some decent padding. I was looking up a Kyle Pitts backpack as we were speaking. Couldn't find it yet, but there's a pretty good one of Jamar Chase with his Nike backpack. It looks like high quality. Looks like LSU probably paid him enough.
We should try to get NFL players on the stream.
No, I was going to say it.
Ask them about their bags.
No, I was going to say
interviews only about
Scott and players and bags. Like it's just like a stream where it's just Scott and an NFL player talking about a backpack.
Bags of the NFL.
Well, when they're out and about, man, they got those designer brands. All these young guys now with like their Gucci and Louis Vuitton and everything,
and that would be so funny for Scott, like Minnesota Scott Fish, to be like, but how many pockets does that Gucci bag have, though?
For guys like Chase, I mean, SEC pays well, man. Like even before the new rules, the SEC paid well back then.
That's a high quality Nike backpack. That's at least 120. From what it sounds like.
Yeah, we could turn this into a whole series, like Tommy Moe, and we had him on. We'll just do like him and an NFL player talking about hats.
Oh my god, that was my favorite. That was one of my favorite tier lists we ever did. The hats one. I know, Scott, you're so upset we left Lumberjack.
It was,
off, but there is hats part 2 coming, and I promise Lumberjack will be on.
Oh, nice.
You're right, though. We do have to do like a bags bracket or tier list, like fanny pack, duffel bag.
Maybe we'll do it this week.
Yeah, that could be fun. Will Fuller, Josh.
Yes.
Will Fuller.
I think I might have a controversial wide receiver list right now. I think Fuller is a little bit ginger right now. I think he's his something about his legs right now. He's a little bit hurt or banged up. He's like day to day, they said, but he's suspended anyway for the first game. So as long as he's healthy by week 2, I'm happy with that pick. Tua, everyone's saying Tua looks amazing in camp right now. And it makes sense. 1 more year removed from his hip, injury, and just getting back on track, being able to rotate it fully and use it to its full capacity. I saw video footage of last year where he was basically using his arm talent solely without even a full, motion and range of his hips on certain throws. But now that he's, fully healthy, I hope that he can have some weapons around him. And I think Fuller is going to be a big part of, him being healthy is going to be a big part of Tua's resurgence after year 1, everyone being so down on him. Fuller points per game wise. I mean, this guy is an animal, and he can get up there. He's got the speed. He just needs to stay healthy and off the drugs.
Yep, I think he's one of the best high upside picks. You can
counterpoint if he gets back on them, he might recover faster.
There we go. I mean, get back on the drugs, Fuller.
He needs to stay healthy and not get caught doing drugs.
Yes.
That's the point. Guys, if you're enjoying this mock draft and you want to go back and watch our mock draft review from last week, or make sure you catch the one coming from this week, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are on YouTube and Twitch at Front Yard Fantasy. We're live every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. We do mock drafts on Mondays. We play games all the other days, all fantasy football related. So make sure you guys subscribe to that channel. And Bag Talk updates as of right now until Scott pulls the exclusive rights are on the Front Yard Fantasy channel.
Exclusively found at Front Yard Fantasy.
But we'll see.
Pay him a lot of money for this for you guys. You better be great.
It's in high demand. We might get outbid in the next whenever it goes up for sale next time. These rights. There's a lot of shows clamoring for it. Anthony came in and said, I think Henderson scored more points per game than Akers last year. I'm sure it was a smaller sample size, but if that wouldn't shock me. He's shown he's a capable running back, but again, with the sample size, I'm not sure you can draw any like super meaningful conclusions from that. Besides that, Henderson has shown he can do it. That doesn't mean he's a better back than Akers or is going to be better than Akers.
I think he probably got as many carries as Akers, probably close to as many touches as Akers last season. Just Akers were more like condensed into actual single games. So we knew Akers was going to be the guy coming into the season, getting a ton of carries. I don't think Darrell Henderson's going to be quite that guy, but we'll see. He's going to get a lot of catches and he's going to get enough carries to be very relevant.
I have the numbers, Josh. Akers had 145 carries, Henderson had 138. So we only had 7 less, like basically the same. It was very similar. And then receptions were close to Henderson had 24 targets, Akers had 14. So
it just became Akers like carries and usage was just really condensed into games, but they showed what he can do if they gave him the workload, and we haven't really seen as much with Darrell Henderson, but I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of analysts and people that I respect in the community, we've had some back and forth about Akers versus Henderson. And debates about how far apart they are talent wise or what they bring to the table. But definitely opportunity is big, right? I mean, you can't teach volume. So it's just one of those things where I think at least what it looks like is they're kind of going in with him and saying, hey, show us what you got. And so we'll see. I think he's got it. So let's see what happens.
If you think he's got it, then where you drafted him makes complete sense. It's even a value in the 5th round if he is what you're saying.
We got to find out what kind of bag he's rocking with. So
very important.
That affects it a lot.
Duffel and back, Henderson. If you take over this close to the start of the season, we need to see all your bags.
I need perception like charts, but just all
I feel like it's always been a thing though. Like they go to India and like teams want to find out like how much baggage you have and stuff.
Metaphorical and literal.
It's like
they've been focusing on the wrong baggage for years.
No, we don't care about that stuff. We want to know about your literal baggage and the luggage you got. Hard shell.
Ooh,
Jordan says,
there
Albert
goes
Wilson.
Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I thought about it.
To Jordan, and Jordan also said Albert Wilson is a name to watch for Miami. He's been making a ton of plays. I feel like I've heard this story with Albert Wilson every preseason he's been around, but we'll see. Maybe this is the year. Scott looks like he's got some faith in Albert Wilson.
Oh yeah, anytime you can get a wide receiver 5 off of a team, you just do it. Like that's my thing. I see a wide receiver 5, and I'm like. Especially one that's been in the NFL for many years and hasn't had it put it together yet. That's when they break out.
I really thought you were going to hype him up, man.
Scott was the first one on the Devontae Parker train. He was there, drafted him in every league when he blew up. He was just looking at those guys that Rashad Perriman, yeah.
Yep, that's how it
Anthony
works.
wants to know if we're going to sell an FYF official backpack. Yep, absolutely, without a doubt. Yep,
oh my
for
God,
sure.
we have
to
Scott
design it.
Yeah, our backpack expert.
And then that's how it'll work. You're going to sell a FYF official backpack.
Just one.
We'll auction it off. Josh, Jay liked your Gordon pick, said that Gordon pick was a steal as your 4th running back. I tend to agree. How are you feeling about that backfield situation? You think Gordon holds on to it or it ekes away from him as the season goes on?
Yeah, so there's a couple of situations that I kind of have been harping on, on Twitter. For anyone who would listen, Javonte Williams was actually being drafted right before Melvin Gordon, according to like ADP. And it's kind of understandable with rookie hype train and everything like that. And Javonte looks good. But a lot of people were making this narrative somehow that Melvin Gordon is washed up and he's this old incumbent that's just sitting there twiddling his thumbs, waiting for someone to take over. But when you look at his numbers last season, he actually played very well. And and that was with having to deal with Philip Lindsay and different things like that going on.
Yeah.
But this year, I think that he will still continue to be the lead guy. I think Javonte Williams will be like sprinkled in. I think that he will, come in relief of Gordon and maybe have some plays, made for him to get him some touches in his rookie season. But I think Gordon's definitely the one to own. Even look at this draft, right, where Javonte Williams went in the 3 rounds before, right, in 6'11", right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about the backup getting drafted 4 rounds before, not to trash that pick, but 4 rounds before Melvin Gordon, the starter. And you kind of start seeing, maybe there's a little bit too much rookie hype going on, as opposed to who's going to actually be on the field producing the most stats for you on your fantasy team. So Gordon is definitely, if he's still falling in your drafts and you already have, players to fill your starting running back spots, Gordon in the flex is going to be huge. That's a huge floor to have on a weekly basis. And that's generally what I like to do in the flex is have as many starting running backs as possible to give you that floor, and not too bad of a ceiling either. He can still catch the ball and, fall into the end zone as well. So love Melvin Gordon this season, but maybe later in the season, they give Javonte a little bit more. We'll see what happens. But 100% Gordon, he's the RB1 in Denver, and Javonte is going to have to kind of wait his turn. And that's what
you 14 overall.
Broncos insiders and beat reporters feel exactly the same way you do about it. They're like, this is Gordon's team. They're almost aghast by the fantasy thought process that it's just Javante's already. It's according to them, it's very clearly Melvin Gordon right now.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
I mean, and partly maybe some people are stuck in dynasty mode. Where they're just thinking about age so much during the offseason, like young youth, got to get younger, But there's Melvin Gordon. He's still got juice left. So we'll see what happens this season.
And he had a decent year last year. All these people are hyped about Kareem Hunt's season last year, and using that as justification this year. And if you're doing that, Melvin Gordon had a similar season, just more consistent last year. He had that floor like you were talking about. Melvin Gordon put it together consistently over the course of the season, and on a points per game basis, finished very similarly to Kareem Hunt, who was a top 12 back. So I think Melvin Gordon put together a great year last year, and completely agree with you. He maybe by the end of the season we see some more Javonte work towards the end, but I'm of the opinion it's Melvin Gordon unless he gets injured or Javonte just shows up and is like unreal in actual gameplay. But I don't see that.
And all of that is possible.
All of that is possible. Yeah, it's all a game of probabilities, right? Mike T's in here, aka Arsenal in the draft, wants to know what we think about the Lance pick at 9-4. Jeff, I'll come to you first on this one. What do you think?
Hey.
That's you. You're Jeff.
Great. I think that's great value. I was considering him actually with my James Robinson pick. I was like, do I just want to go another high upside quarterback here? If anything were to happen, and Trey Lance, if he's the starter, he is going to be electric. He can run like pretty fast. He's really fast. He's really fast at running.
Look where I drafted Justin Fields to compare.
Exactly. And
3 rounds earlier. So great value.
When it comes down to it, I think Justin Fields probably does have a better shot of starting week 1. But, I mean, they're saying Andy Dalton's the starter there right now. So we'll see what happens. But still, I think it's great value.
I don't think it's a 3-round difference.
No, it's not.
I expect them both to play this season.
Yeah,
don't you guys usually finish these mocks by 3, or by the end of the show?
There was something weird that happened at the beginning, I guess. I don't know. Don't throw us off.
We had something really important we had to discuss at the beginning.
Makes sense.
That definitely pushed it back a little bit later, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What I was going to say in Arsenal, you just did like literally word for word. What was going to come out of my mouth is with a pick like Trey Lance, though, you need to get another guy that you know is the starter, like a Sam Darnold. Yes. And you drafted Sam Darnold right there. Sam Darnold has that high upside anyways. Like it's a little bit of unknown there in Carolina, right? He's got the weapons. He's out of Adam Gase's butthole umbrella, and he can just we'll see what we actually have from
what
Sam
is it?
Darnold. What is a butthole umbrella?
You know who I'd rather pair with a Trey Lance, Justin Fields type is a guy like Fitzpatrick who might lose his job,
You're
but
right.
he's going to come out slinging at the beginning. You know what I mean?
He's such a good
Hey,
quarterback.
quiet
to pair in
down.
any situation.
Quiet down.
Scott, that's exactly what I did in Scott Fishbowl. I drafted Trey Lance and then Ryan Fitzpatrick until he starts.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
did
that's your
Fitzpatrick
bowl,
get drafted? No, he got drafted long
That's
ago.
your bowl.
Okay. I needed a quarterback here, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely take Fitzpatrick now.
We got Swamp in the chat. Swamp says he's late and at work
Hey.
and crying and says,
Oh
who
my
day? And then he said, damn.
Who
it.
day?
Damn, Dad.
Who day?
From now on, we greet Swamp with who day. Who day,
Who day?
Swamp.
Who day, Swamp?
And Matt said 40% of Hunt's touches came in the fourth quarter if you like drafting an RB closer. That's a stressful way to play fantasy, though. Just waiting, nothing, and then he gets half his touches in the last quarter of the game. Logan Thomas to Tyler. We had Tyler Higbee, so we got some more tight ends coming off the board.
Yeah, I was hoping he
Josh
called
does
me.
not have a tight end yet. We'll see if he takes one here or in the next round. Jeff does have a tight end, I believe.
Oh, I
He drafted
absolutely do.
Kyle Pitts.
Josh has not had a tight end for many years.
You're talking about Josh or Jeff here because
Oh, damn.
mm,
Damn it, I
mm,
messed
mm,
it up
mm,
already.
mm,
So
mm,
it's probably
mm.
me, right?
Josh is like, guilty.
Anthony
man.
says he thinks you should pair Lance with Kirk Cousins or Matt Ryan, someone safer.
Man.
You don't want to hold the bag with two upside guys, but you will have to draft
Now-
that quarterback earlier if you want to do that.
I see what he's saying about Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's going to be the starter going into the year, so and we kind of expect Lance to eventually take
Yeah.
over that role. So Fitzpatrick's kind of makes a lot of sense. You know, it makes perfect sense, Scott.
I feel like
in my
Kirk
opinion.
Cousins is like the exact opposite in every way of Kirk Cousins is the exact opposite.
Fitzpatrick?
It's Ryan Fitzpatrick, yeah. They're like polar opposites.
Talk about
What's
a
up,
tight end.
Kev's in here says
Kirk
bird
Cousins is the
up.
tightest.
And Jordan wants to know, who do you guys think I should take in the fourth round of my 16-team college football redraft league?
Oh,
is
shut
Justin
up.
Ross available? Or I don't know anything about ADPs of college football leagues.
I don't even know if he's serious. I feel like
He's probably
is this
just
real?
trolling us.
Yes.
Is it Superflex?
I don't know that I can name.
Is it tight end premium? Because I still
Yeah.
have no
Like
idea.
Yeah, if it's Superflex, I still don't know, Jordan, but I would appreciate that info. Z2 said, just realized I have 3 Raiders, so he's got Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, and
Ew.
who's the third one?
Oh,
Derek Carr. You know what? I've got
Hey,
no issue with
stack
that.
'em.
Honestly, that stack is totally fine with me. I guess it does limit your upside
Yeah.
a bit, but the Carr Waller stack is sexy, and then it's a little bit safer with Josh Jacobs in there as well. You're more likely to get the touchdowns when they happen.
Maybe Ruggs will hang around for him at the end.
So Simon, if you want to share the screen there for a second.
You're so selfish, Simon.
So here's Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence, each with backpacks in the same picture.
Whoa!
Is that when they were in high school?
Is this
Yeah.
this isn't legal?
Yeah,
That is-
yeah. Look at this. I mean, he's got enough for a water bottle that and it looks like both have the bottom compartment for. Are those the same backpack potentially?
I'm surprised the NCAA didn't shut
Potentially.
this down.
I was going to try to rank
bet.
one higher than the other, but it looks like they have similar backpacks.
But where does the
I think
skateboard
Trent
go? That's the
Dilfer
question.
gave them those.
That is a good point. Where does the skateboard go?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're out
Next.
on these two. Yep, out on these two now.
Don't draft Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Their bag can't fit a skateboard. You heard it here first.
Is that the shoe compartment in the bottom that you were talking
Yes.
about?
I'll
Yep,
put it back
yep.
up.
Why aren't these elite quarterbacks skateboarding more? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Like it blows my mind.
It's not a high risk activity. No one's ever broken their arm skateboarding.
Never.
Definitely not.
I watched
me.
like 2 people in the Olympics with broken arms skateboarding.
I went
Raise
through
your
a
arms.
skateboard phase for like all of a month until I broke my arm skateboarding, and then that phase ended. It ended rather quickly. I did not get back on a skateboard after that.
I can't skateboard.
I
to
can't
save my
imagine
life.
you got very proficient in a month. So you broke your arm on like just rolling,
Go-
rolling
I
flat
went-
on the ground.
Well, I found the biggest hill in my neighborhood because I was getting
Got the
cocky as a
wobbles?
7th grader. No, I made it all the way to the bottom. Then I was like, oh, I'll just go up my neighbor's driveway to stop, right? And I hit the lip of the driveway because it wasn't a smooth transition to the driveway. It was like a little lip. And I just flew off the board and wasn't wearing wrist pads and snapped my wrist.
Oh man. Hey,
Sounds like
who
a good time.
rollerblades here? Did any of you guys ever rollerblade?
I have rollerblades.
I mean, I've gone
have
to, like,
adult
the,
rollerblades that I bought.
the circular, the rollerblade place. It's been a long time.
Oh,
but
the roller rink.
Roller rink?
Yeah, roller rinks. Yeah, I've been to roller rinks a few times in my youth.
But those
we
are
get it.
like
You were cool in
roller
middle school.
skates. Like, did you ever like roller blade? You got the four
Like
like.
in
No, I
inlines?
never bladed.
Wait, those two things are different.
Yeah, skates.
Oh, yeah.
The 2x2.
He's talking about inline skates, like rollerblades. Rollerblades was actually invented in Minnesota,
I thought
along
that
with
was just
some
like a
other
fashion
awesome
thing.
things, like tailgating.
Nice.
What?
yeah.
Can't own tailgating.
Oh
Dr.
yeah, it
King
was invented in Minnesota. In fact, ESPN used to have a commercial back in the late '90s, early 2000s about how tailgating was invented in Minnesota like 60, 70 years ago.
How can you
or whatever.
invent eating and drinking before some of the big events?
No, just like out in the
You're telling
parking
me,
lot
like,
before a
the-
football game thing. Yeah.
You're telling me
It's
the
definitely a
Romans
Midwest
didn't
thing, though.
eat some spaghetti and drink some
Hey,
red
until
wine
it's got a
before-
name.
Yep.
That's
Because everyone plays cornhole.
Yeah,
Do you guys call it bags? Hey, bags.
No,
Or
cornhole.
bags.
We call it cornhole.
And
I will tell you-
was that a bag joke for us, or do people actually call it bags?
No,
People
people
call
call
it
it bags.
People call it
Really?
bags.
I never
Yeah.
heard that.
Yeah.
They
Cornhole
do.
is a terrible name, but bags might be worse.
Well, in the Midwest, cornhole makes sense because there's cornfields everywhere.
Yep. Yep.
But I don't get the correlation though, because wouldn't you name
There's
everything
corn in the bags.
then?
The bags are stuffed with corn.
Here's my corn.
Simon,
There's-
No,
when-
Jeff, the
when
bags
was the
are
last
full of
time
corn.
Simon, when was the last time you went to go look at that hill? Because I find when I go to look at like things that I think were giant
They're not
when I was a
nearly as
kid,
big.
and it's like maybe that hill is actually just hilariously
It's-
tiny.
every,
it's
su-
been-
every summer
I've-
he takes a pilgrimage there. Just to,
So
he
my
walks
parents
his
lived in that
neighborhood
house
stairs.
until 2 years ago, and I'm telling you,
Okay.
that is a hill that was big enough that I would not go down it for like without a large sum of money given to me now. Like it's a hill where like if you said get on a skateboard and go down this hill, I was like, well, you have to guarantee you'll pay my medical bills whenever I come off the other side, plus an additional $1,000. Because there's not a doubt in my mind I would get injured now going down it.
How did we finish this draft in about the same time, same amount of time, despite
We're
having
amazing.
so much bag talk?
The power of the bag.
Power
And
of the bag.
one more pick we're going to talk about before we jump off. Josh, you've just made a bunch of picks that are worth discussing. That Evan Ingram pick to end the draft. I know we've got some Giants fans in the chat that are ready to throw him out the window entirely. How do you feel about Evan Ingram going into this season?
Hey, Evan Ingram is still in my top 12 for redraft, especially PPR. I think one thing that like people just misunderstand about him, the whole drops narrative thing is always so blown out of proportion. Ingram's still going to get a good amount of targets, probably more targets than some of the other guys that are between like 7 and 12, for tight ends. So he's always a value guy. I think he's been a value guy for me for like the last few years, but even more so this season. Ingram is a steal, and I might have been able to get him even later had we had like a full draft.
Oh,
right?
100%.
And I could have picked up more pieces, elsewhere. But yeah, I still have him in my top 12, so he's someone that I'm willing to wait on if I don't get one of the big three, early. I generally in redraft one QB, I wait on QBs and tight ends. For super flex, I don't wait on QBs or running backs, but I do wait on wide receivers and tight ends still, and you can get a lot of value. Guys like Adam Troutman, like a lot of people are deciding to take much later, and it's for value, right? You could get upside guys late at the TE. So.
For me, if you miss that top 5, your best bet is to do what you did today. Wait until the very end and grab an Evan Ingram and Adam.
Are you
Troutman.
not including Kyle Pitts,
net.
man?
Kyle Pitts,
Sorry,
tight
I'm
end
not-
1.
Come on, bro.
2020.
I'm not. I'm including, for me, the 4 are Travis Kelce, Darren Waller,
Rob
excuse me,
Gronkowski.
TJ Hawkinson, and Mark Andrews. That's it for me. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
And George Kittle.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah,
I
I was
forgot
about
one
to say.
very important one. Very important one. Matt said, I am running back by committee. Yeah, I'll throw that back up there. He said, I'll take care of my quarterback, tight end, wide receivers, and then nothing but running backs to shape the draft out.
That's
But,
exactly what he did.
I think
And that's-
Hawkinson's going way too high in most drafts.
Who?
disagree entirely with my
Hawkinson.
whole heart.
Where did he go in the 4th?
Fourth,
Yep.
end of the 4th. He's
I
just
can
not gonna, unless it's tight end premium, he's not going to score enough points to make it like make him valuable over to some of these high end running backs and wide receivers.
I think some people are expecting a gigantic growth in volume just because of the wide receivers that they have there and Goff's, tendency to not be able to actually throw it deep. So Hawkinson, over the middle, short routes, a lot of that stuff. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it all, you're completely right, Josh. If all that stuff breaks, then I have no doubt. But I feel like that he'll probably return that value. But I feel like there's so many of those assumptions that the likelihood that they'll all work, go in his favor is not super likely.
Yeah, that's why I
Well,
wait too. But he is my
I'm betting on
TE4.
it.
Yeah.
In terms of like uncertainty with him,
He's
like
my
if you
tight
look
end
at him
4
and
as
Kyle
well.
Pitts, it's to me like similar
Kyle
levels.
Pitts upside is
Yeah, that's what I'm
Upside
saying.
is through the roof. Jay said first ballot Hall of Famer Kyle Pitts.
President of the United States, Kyle.
His floor is Megatron. Did you guys hear that? His floor is Calvin Johnson in his prime.
Floor in the clouds.
That's
and
great.
his ceiling
That's
is the greatest wide receiver of all time,
Jerry
Justin
Rice.
Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay, guys, we're gonna have a mock draft review for this one coming your way, and we will have duffel bag watch updates coming later. Scott, thank you. It was a bit shocking, but thank you for starting the show off strong with some bag watch. I really appreciate it. And Josh,
Awesome.
thank you so much for coming on today, man. Guys,
Of
if
course.
you do not follow Josh already on Twitter, go follow him. He is at
Do
JB
it.
Cho Knows on Twitter. He's an excellent follow, and you can find all of his content through Twitter. He puts it all out there, and he's there to help you guys win your leagues. So make sure you guys
Yes,
go
great
follow him.
follow.
Josh, thank you again, man, for coming on.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
I have to have you on again soon.
Absolutely.
Please.
We'll have to. I got to bring you back for a game. That way we can.
Yeah, I would
beat
love that,
you
man.
at
Wheel of
something,
Fortune or
'cause
something. I saw. Yeah.
Let's make it
absolutely.
happen. Let's make it happen.
We'll have to bring you back for a game. Scott might have some more game ideas on the whiteboard back there. I think that's what it is. Or has it been converted to bags on the whiteboard?
That's
They're all
what
bag
my
related
entire
games.
focus is on everything. I actually quit my job to focus on this bag venture.
He asked me if he thought it was a good move, and I said absolutely. That's an excellent.
Follow your
move."
dreams.
JL and I were talking earlier, and I was telling him that trading makes fantasy fun. Let's go.
Trading does make
You
fantasy
are a
fun.
damn liar.
Guys,
Wait,
I think that's
yeah,
it for
I
us
don't
today.
believe
Before we
that
go, though,
happened.
Scott,
It did not happen. It did. I lied.
guys, we'll be back with more bag watch updates, duffel watch updates, and with some more games later this week. So make sure you guys tune in 3 p.m. Eastern time every single day. And then again for our FanDuel show on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Ooh,
And hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of these. If you didn't have notifications turned on, you might have missed the first 8 minutes of the stream. And that would have been a travesty. So we got to make sure you guys don't miss that. That is it for us today, guys. We are out of here. Adios, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.